Español 1, capítulo 8. Conocer o saber. Which to know to use. So just like in Spanish, there are two words to say to be, ser and estar, and in English we just have one word. In Spanish there are two words that mean to know, whereas in English we just have one word. Each is used for a particular circumstance, and you have to just figure out what's the circumstance to know which form of the verb to use. Conocer, you've already had. Conocer, as you would recall, is used when saying that you know people, you meet someone for the first time, and that you know are familiar with a place. Especially when you say stuff like, I know my way around downtown, I don't know my way around Chicago very well. You're not familiar with it. So as a reminder, the conjugations of conocer, conozco, the yo form, is irregular. After that, it is a regularly conjugated verb. Conoces, you know. Conoce, he or she knows. Conocemos, we know. And conocen, you guys know or they know. Unos ejemplos. ¿Conoces a la mujer que toma fotos? So there, do you know the woman that's taking pictures? Are you familiar with her? I don't know that town very well, meaning you're not acquainted with it. You don't know your way around. No conozco. That, so you can touch, or excuse me, you can't touch it, so no T. So, ese pueblo, muy bien. In contrast, the verb saber is used when you are saying that you know facts or information. The conjugations of saber are as follows. Let me just get this centered, otherwise it'll bug me. Se, irregular yo form. After that, it's regular. Sabes, sabe, sabemos, saben. Se, sabe, sabe, sabemos, saben. And you've been saying, I don't know, since the beginning of the year. No lo sé. Los ejemplos. No sé cuándo llegamos. I don't know when we get there. Oop. You can look for words like when, how, where, who, because if you're saying stuff like, I don't know how to get there, I don't know where it is, I don't know who she is, all of those things are pieces of information that you don't know. They don't know that there's a reef there. Once again, it's a piece of information that they don't know. Ellos no saben que hay un arrecife allí. And one additional use of the verb saber, when you have a form of saber followed by the infinitive of a verb, so you don't have to conjugate the second verb, it means to know how to do something. And notice that the word how, the word como, is not included in the pattern. So look at our first example sentence. Él sabe esquiar bastante bien porque sus abuelos viven en Argentina. He knows how to ski pretty well because his grandparents live in Argentina. So there's no sabe cómo, it's just sabe esquiar. Do you know how to surf? So we are going to put saber in the tú form, sabes. I don't have to translate the word how. It's just understood. ¿Sabes hacer surf? So here is some práctica. For the first four, I'm going to give you a minute just to decide, would it be a form of saber or would it be a form of conocer that would be used if you were to translate these sentences to Spanish? So for the first one, do you know if there are waterfalls there? That's information that you're asking about. So you would have a form of saber. We'll come back to the translation in a minute. We don't know our grandparents very well. Here you're talking about knowing a person, being familiar with them. It's not facts or information, like we don't know who our grandparents are. So you would have a form of conocer. And tres, I know that Madrid is the capital of Spain. There, that's facts, that's information, and you would have a form of saber. I'm nervous because I don't know how to ski. Well, knowing how is a form of saber plus the infinitive. So you would have saber. Back up to the translation here. Do you know if there are waterfalls there? So the tú form of saber is sabes if, si, hay cataratas ahí. ¿Sabes si hay cataratas allí? I know that Madrid is the capital of Spain. Your form of saber is not sabo, it is sé. Sé que Madrid es la capital de España. All right, let me give you some more to think about, whether they would be saber or conocer. I want to meet your family. That is talking about getting to know someone, so that's conocer. Once you meet them, you know them, and knowing people is conocer. He doesn't know the name of the mountain. That's a piece of information or a fact. So that would be saber. We don't know our way around Detroit. You're not familiar with it. So this one would be conocer. He doesn't know the name of the mountain. Let's work on that translation. So él no, we need the he form of saber. That's sabe. Él no sabe el nombre de la montaña. All right, and a few more then to decide. Would it be saber or conocer? Número 8, do you know where the cottage is? Where the cottage is a fact or a piece of information. So you would want saber, even though you're talking about a location. We're not saying, are you familiar with that area? Do you know your way around? You're asking, do you know where the cottage is? Is it in Poundwater? Is it in Holland? Is it in Grand Haven? It's a piece of information. Why don't you know how to swim? Well, I hear the phrase, to know how to do something. So you're going to have a form of saber in this sentence, followed by the infinitive of the verb to swim. I don't know who she is. You're not saying you don't know her, which you probably don't know her if you don't know who she is, but you're just saying, I don't know the information. I don't have that fact of who she is in my brain. So you would want a form of saber. Slight difference here, kind of a picky difference between I don't know her, meaning you're not familiar with her, or I don't know who she is. I don't know if she is his sister or not. So here, piece of information, and you can tell too because you've got that one of those question words: who, where, how, when, what, how many. And so let's go and translate the sentence. Do you guys know where the cottage is to Spanish? So the form of saber that we would need is saben. That's the you guys form. And ustedes is how you say you guys. You're speaking to a group. If you're wondering why it is that it's saben first, remember in questions in English and Spanish, often the word order gets switched. So the verb comes first, then the subject. ¿Saben ustedes dónde está? We're talking about location. La cabaña. ¿Saben ustedes dónde está la cabaña?